The world has and actually is still reeling from the effects of the coronavirus-induced lockdown. Although Africa has literally the lowest figures on a continental level in terms of fatalities, but the economic loss is more impactful and has slowed the momentum of development strides across the continent. Nigeria's response has been praised, but inflationary figures, the rise in unemployment, and a lack of infrastructure, coupled with other factors, have made growth challenging for the country. But despite this, many believe in the potential of Africa's largest economy. An upcoming event hopes to look into the sectors of Nigeria's economy that are making waves and thriving to help improve things in these unprecedented times. Today, we're looking at Nigeria's Hope Horizon. Can the country get back on the growth trajectory after COVID-19? And after that conversation, we'll also look at the inflation numbers coming out of Nigeria. I'm Tolulokwe Adileru Balogun. Welcome. This is Business Edge. Joining me is Camelia Oros. She's the Managing Director, CT Productions. Now, CT Productions is the agency managing The Economist magazine in Nigeria. Camelia, thank you so much for joining me on Business Edge.
Thank you so much, Tolu. It's really a pleasure being with you today. We're very excited about next week. 1 week from now, we have a great event, a virtual event entitled Nigeria's Hope Horizon, getting back on the growth trajectory. And you said it very well before. It's very interesting to see how Nigeria is focusing and is really thriving and pushing through a very, very difficult situation worldwide.
Yes, very true. So let's look at the focus for the webinar that will be on certain areas. So you're looking at innovation, finance, telecoms, energy, oil, gas, technology, and so many others. But what made these particular sectors the standout ones for this upcoming event?
Well, the sectors were chosen really because this is where Nigeria needs to move forward. That's quite straightforward because we have the data and we have our collaborators, on the field, and our researchers that offered us a lot of information that will be shared with you during the webinar. So definitely these are the sectors to look out for. We are very excited to have discussion with the leaders of those particular sectors.
So in terms of the Nigerian forecast, you've mentioned having data that's also there talking about what to expect. What does the data tell us about the importance of these sectors to Nigeria's economic growth?
Well, I will just share a few things with you. If you remember last year, we have actually conducted a research with the Economist Intelligence Unit, the analysis division of the Economist Group, that brought a lot of information with regards to the Nigerian fintech sector, and that was published actually on the 24th of November during one of our webinars. There are data there that can be found online, and you saw that really the sector thriving, during this period. I think that Nigeria can give a lesson to the Western world and really show how fintech can thrive. There are so many businesses that are really, at this point, everything is online in Nigeria. Everybody has a phone. Everybody is able to make a payment from wherever they are, and that's a very good example. So besides discussing with the government, in sharing the data, we are also in a very interesting position of discussing with the private sector. We're going to share more next week about that. So besides the Economist Intelligence Unit, we have one of our partners, the Circular Economy Innovation Partnership, that is here in Nigeria, and they are our newest collaborators. So I think Nigeria has the right researchers and research information. We just need to be able to tap into them and really then make and do the deed, as we say, just do the thing, push through.
Yeah, just get the work done. So for many people, Nigeria, as the most populous country on the continent, the largest economy as well, that in and of itself should make the country very attractive. But just having a large population oftentimes is not enough if that population is not able to purchase and doesn't have higher purchasing power. But we also have to note that Nigeria does come with its fair share of challenges. What makes Nigeria such an important part of Africa's success story?
Well, somebody was saying that these challenges that they are noted for the past 1.5 years through COVID, it's just a normal day at work for Nigeria. I think you had so many challenges before COVID, and the fact that really you make it through day after day, this is the resilience of the Nigerian population, the entrepreneurship, really the pushing through. That's the model of Nigeria. This is what Nigeria represents. Is really a model for the whole of Africa and really for the whole world at this point. And this is why at this point, with all the difficulties, Nigeria is thriving actually at this point. There are so many unicorns, rising right now from Nigeria, and we know about that. So I think with resilience and with hope for a better day, and with taking the model and the way Nigerians are, this should be a model for the world.
It's interesting you mentioned a model for the world, because we know that the world has been struggling in the past 1 year to find a new way forward. Many have talked about the new normal. And in the aftermath of the COVID-19 pandemic, the world has changed as we know it. So this webinar's theme is Nigeria's Hope Horizon. And while we're seeing technology and youth entrepreneurship as well, those are taking shape in Nigeria and across the continent. You mentioned that as well. What do you think the future is for Nigeria's economy beyond the pandemic, after the pandemic, after maybe things have returned to as much normalcy as we can see?
Well, it's very important, we believe, as everywhere else, to note the collaboration between the government and the private sector. I think nothing can happen without the right legal frame, and this is something that still needs to improve. The private sector is there to really put the dreams, in practice, but together with the government, they can really achieve much more than they have up to now. So that's the Nigeria's Hope Horizon, of really having even a better collaboration and pushing through better times post-COVID.
Okay. So as you highlighted the sectors, we've spoken about the sectors that are really coming to the forefront, that are thriving and making waves for Nigeria. In terms of the webinar, who are those who are going to be parts of the conversation? What do you think they're bringing? What information, what analysis, what data are they going to bring to the table in terms of Nigeria's Hope Horizon, putting the country back on a growth trajectory?
Well, I think we've chosen very carefully. We are extremely cautious on who should be with us in a conversation. So from this point of view, we have actually invited the public sector, for instance, the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, with the new president, Mrs. Toki Magbogunje, which she's really extremely supportive to everything that is done here. Then from the public side also, it was very important to have Dr. Abayomi, the Commissioner of Health, because he really pushed through in a very, very difficult time that COVID represents for Lagos and Nigeria. And of course, with the Ministry of Finance, we are discussing, and the Manufacturing Association. So that's all for the public side, together with the Institute, the Energy Institute. However, the private side, it's very important as well, because they are the ones that can create a lot of jobs and opportunities. MasterCard is at the forefront, definitely. They have supported so many startups, and more of this will be discussed actually in the webinar. Then we have Farm Forte. Farm Forte is really a local company that has over 1,000 hectares of land that they are producing and feeding a nation. So that's a great example. Then we have Braid as well, Braid Africa on the oil and gas sector. So I think we tried to really discuss with the main drivers of the Nigerian economy, making sure that there is a relation between the public and private sector in order for Nigeria to thrive.
All right, Camelia, Oros, thank you so much for joining me from CT Productions. The webinar is taking place next week. So just before we wrap up, how can people take part in that if they really want to find out how Nigeria can get back on that growth trajectory?
Well, first of all, I think that you're going to share some information also on your website. Other than that, they should access the www.africaeventsct.com, and they're going to find the link over there. Also, we have few technology partners that we need to know, the SkySat Technology, where our office is at Sakatinugu booth 35, and OB Meet is a platform that will organize the event for us. So it's quite a great moment. You can find more information at City Productions on all our social media handles, besides, of course, your handles. And we are looking forward to seeing you at June 23rd, 9:50 a.m. Lagos time.
All right, Camelia, thank you so much.